Hello and welcome to Scratch Saturday, where I look at some Scratch projects I've made and just show you how I built them. This one's called Anagrams, and I'll just show you a quick demo before we begin. The game is where you have 5-letter words and you have to click on them to spell them correctly. So this word is shoal, so S-H-O-A-L. Beautifully done. And then it gets next one. This is obviously horse. If you make a mistake, it won't let you work. So let's have a look at what that game looks like and through the code. And if you want to make something a little bit better, that would be great. So please share your comments below. This is our stage here, and there are I've just had a blank stage at the back. You can make it whatever you want, but essentially when you click start, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to broadcast pick word. So we use the broadcasting to pick a word. And how do we pick a word? Well, when we receive the pick word, we have a variable called chosen word, which is I've got 3 words in this demo, and you can pick one. So it'll pick one at random from 1 to 3. We also pick the current letter. So the first letter that we're allowed to choose is number 1. So in this case, if we look over here, we see letter 1. So just keep that in mind, and then we can get started. So once we get started, what we're looking for is each of these letters is waiting to be picked. So when we've heard get started, we show the letter. So this is the letter S. It is shown. We've shown the letter, and we can change the color. What I've done just for fun really is to change its color to any real color, any color at all. So they start off as yellow, but I pick any random color of the 255 available to you. So basically, if the chosen word is number 1, I have different costumes for the different letters. So we just have a look at the costumes. So the letters could be F, H, or S for the first letter, A, O, or H for the second word, it's the third word, the fourth word, and the fifth word. So we're actually not really doing letters, they're just images. So we're looking at, so if it's the first, if they've chosen the first word, so if it was number 1, it switches to the costume, and number 1, number 2, or number 3. That's all that code is doing. So if it's not that, then this, and if it's not that, well, then it must be number 3. And then what we're doing is we're pointing these circles, these pictures. All they are pictures in a random direction of from 1 to 360 degrees, and basically it moves. What we do is repeat it until we get to the end letter and move all those letters around for 2 steps. So move this letter around 2 steps, so that's any 2 steps in that direction, and when it hits the edge, bounce. That's all it's doing. When you actually click on the letter, so let's say we do click on the letter S here, if it's the first letter and it's correct, so if the current letter is, if you click on the current letter, then that means you've clicked on the S. If you clicked on the H here, that would be number 2, current letter would be number 2, so you wouldn't be right. So if you click on the S, you have clicked on the current letter. So it plays the sound, the chord sound that you heard, and then it hides the letter, so it disappears. And all it does then is it moves your number up to number 2, which is your second sprite there. If you don't get it right, it simply plays a little boom noise. That's really all on that. And what we're waiting for, really it says here, if I receive end round, which we haven't got yet, it's going to get everyone back to normal, but we'll come to that later. The H, so the second letter is pretty much the same thing. It's just moving them around, picking the right letter, same as before. And when you click the sprite, if you get it right, you move it up 1 to number 3. If you get it wrong, it makes the drum buzz. Same with O, exactly the same code. If it's number 3, play the chord, and move on 1, and then the 4th letter. And then finally, we move on to the last letter, and this is where it's slightly different in the code. Same thing basically about moving it around, but this time when you click the letter, you move the letter up by 1, so it's number 6, so it's fulfilling a criteria that we're moving the letters until it reaches number 6. You play the chord, and then you broadcast end round, okay? So that's what we were looking for, broadcast end round. And what it says, when I receive that end round, what it does is it moves all the letters to in a row to the side that you saw over here. So in this case, the last letter will go to coordinate 0, 0. For A, it was minus 50, 0. For O, it's minus 100, 0. For H, minus 150, 0. and for S, 200, minus 200, 0. And I change all the letters back to the same colour. Okay, so let's see that really in action. So it's picked, it's chosen the word number 1, which is fancy, and we know the current letter that we need to find is the first letter. We've changed all the colours to random colours around, so you can see what that looks like, and it's waiting for me to press from the letters. So if I get one wrong, I should hear the drum beat. You heard that? But if I click the right one, I should hear the chord, and it will move on to the second letter, because that disappears. When I click A, it'll disappear, and move on to the next letter. It's looking for number 3. There's number 3, moves on to number 4. And then finally we get to end around, and we click the Y here, and we should get everything in a row back to the yellow. Simple enough. Hope you had fun with it, and let's see in your comments any other ideas you might have.